on, so it's time for my wrap up for this month. So I read, I think it was 10 books in January. The first book I'm going to mention I read on the very last day of December 2012, which is why it wasn't in my wrap up video for December, and it was Finale by Becca Fitzpatrick, which is the last book in the Hush Hush series, and this book was just absolutely amazing. I'm quite upset that there's no more Patch and Nora stories, but the series is just amazing and I absolutely love this. Okay, so the first book that I read in January was The Selection by Keir Cass. I'd been dying to get my hands on this for ages, and I'd had it for about 2 months before the end of last year, but I was saving it for 2013 so it could be part of my dystopian challenge, and it was just absolutely amazing. It was just such a unique story with the whole sort of fairy tale dystopian reality TV show thing, which I think is what made me love it so much. So I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The second book I read in January was Black City by Elizabeth Richards, and this was just such an amazing vampire novel, such a really unique twist on the vampires, and it was also dystopian as well, so I made it quite unique too, and I give this 5 out of 5 stars. The next is another vampire dystopian novel, and this is The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. I picked this up because I'd read The Iron King by her and I absolutely loved it, so I decided I'll give her a vampire book a chance, and I'm so happy I did, because I think this will now be one of my favourite books of all time because it was just freaking awesome and I absolutely loved it, which is why I give it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read this month was Oblivion by Anthony Horowitz, which is the 5th book in the Gatekeeper series, and I'm so upset that the series finished. It's been a very long couple of years waiting for this book to come out, and it lived up to everything and it wrapped up the series in such a beautiful way that it makes me happy that the series is over, but also makes me sad as well. So this book got 5 out of 5 stars from me. Next book I read in January is another big massive book, and it's The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan, and this is the 3rd book in Heroes of Olympus series, and I am still really annoyed and heartbroken over the end of this book. Cannot believe it. Oh my god, I just feel like my heart is like broken in pieces. Oh, this book gets 5 out of 5 stars. Next book I got is another sort of big book, kind of, and it was Vortex by Julie Cross, and this is the 2nd book in the Tempest series, and it's like time travel sort of sci-fi stuff, so it's like there's also like sort of time travel-y spies, so it's really interesting, really unique. I absolutely loved this book. It was just freaking awesome, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read this month was The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight. Believe it or not, that's the first time I've ever been able to say this title on the first go. This is such a cutesy, sweet, beautiful, amazing romance novel, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with Jennifer Smith's writing style, and I just had to give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I don't particularly care that there was insta love in it because it's just so cute and sweet, and I absolutely adored it. The next book I read was on my Kindle, and it was Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGarry. Unfortunately, I didn't love this book as much as I was expecting to, and I only gave it 3 out of 5 stars, but I still think it was an enjoyable read, but it just wasn't fully to my tastes. The next book I read was also on my Kindle, and it was Easy by Tamara Webber. Now, this book was more to my taste. I absolutely fell in love with the characters. Lucas was just like one of the most perfect male characters ever, and Jacqueline was just such an amazing character as well that I just loved it. I loved the whole story. I loved the way that because it was a new adult book, it dealt with more mature and serious storylines, which I really enjoyed, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And the last book that I read this month was 50 Little Liars by Sarah Shepherd. I'm in love with the TV show, so I decided it's about time that I picked up the book series. So since I've been watching the TV show since it started, which was a couple of years ago now, so I decided I'd pick this up. And after like the first 3 chapters, I realised how different it was to the TV show, but I still really enjoyed this book, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, now we're on to my February TBR. So the first 2 books that I'm going to mention were the winners of my viewers' choice, and these are combined votes and they were the combined winners from my blog votes and my YouTube votes. I don't really remember how many votes they got, but I know these 2 were well out front. And the first one was Mystic City by Theo Lawrence, and I'm so happy that this one got the most votes, because I am dying to read this book, and I just don't know what I would have done if I hadn't been picked, because I just really want to read it. The second book that was picked was Legends by Marie Lu. I'll be reading this on my Kindle, and I'm extremely excited to read this as well. I've been dying to read it since it came out, and I can't wait to finally get into it. I also have 2 books for review that I'll be doing this month. The first, both on my Kindle. The first one is Sister Assassin by Kirsten White, which you may also know as Mind Games, which is the US edition, and I'm so excited to read this book. It was on my 2013 most anticipated books, so when I saw it on NetGalley, I just had to request it, and I got it, so yay, I can't wait to read it. The second book I got was from the author, and it was Persistence of Vision by Elizal K. Hill, and she's one of the bloggers that I follow on my blog, and she contacted me and asked me if I would like to read her novel. It's sort of like a new adult dystopian novel, and it sounds like it's going to be freaking awesome, so I cannot wait to get to that. And I will be doing a review for her blog tour on the 26th of February, so that is when you can expect my review for that, because this one is actually going to be scheduled. Next book I'm reading this month is Ethereal by Addison Moore, and I'm noticing that I'm reading quite a lot of books on my Kindle this month, but it will help me like whittle down the amount of books that I have on my Kindle to read, because I have a lot and it's going to take me forever to get through them. Next book I'm reading next month is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. I'm also reading this on my Kindle, and I'm mainly reading it because the movie is coming out and the trailer just looked like such an awesome movie, and I really like the concept of the whole like was a zombie and then starts to become human again. It just sounds like such a unique storyline that I cannot wait to read that book. And the last book that I'm reading this month is I'd Tell You I Love You But Then I'd Have to Kill You by Ali Carter. This is the first book in the Gallagher Girls series. I didn't even get this that long ago, but I've heard so many good things from so many people that I just cannot wait to pick this up any longer, so I can't wait to read it next month. Yay! So that was my January wrap up and my February TBR video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone!